I've heard all this scary talk about global warming, but I don't believe any of it. The climate is always changing. It goes through cycles. There's no reason to think that what we are seeing now isn't just another natural cycle. After all, they didn't have SUVs during the ice ages, and we came out of that just fine.
But scientists know what triggered ice ages and interglacial periods. Ice ages are triggered by small changes in Earth's orbit called Milankovitch cycles, which cause orbital forcing of the climate. And since we can compute Earth's orbit for thousands of years into the past and future, we know that orbital forcing reached a peak 6,000 years ago, and has been slowly cooling the Earth since then. So we know that the current warmth has nothing to do with ice ages. The current warming is caused by carbon dioxide, or CO2, that enhances Earth's greenhouse effect.
Even if you're right about ice ages, that doesn't mean CO2 is responsible. There are lots of other natural cycles. The sun cycles all the time, and you can't tell me that the sun has no effect on climate.
No, you're right about that. But we do know that the sun is not responsible for the current warming either.
How can you be so sure?
There are a lot of ways. First, the sun's output reached a historical high point in 1958, and it's been declining since then, as the Earth has been getting warmer.
I didn't know that.
And there's more evidence than just that. If it's the sun, then we're getting more heat during the day, and daytime temperatures should be rising fastest. But if it's greenhouse, then we're losing less heat at night, and nighttime temperatures should be rising fastest. In fact, nighttime temperatures are rising much faster than daytime temperatures. That's a smoking gun for the greenhouse effect. And if it's the sun, that means we're getting more energy, and the whole atmosphere should be getting warmer. But if it's greenhouse, then we're getting the same amount of energy, but it's being distributed differently. More heat is trapped at the surface and less heat escapes to the stratosphere. So if it's the sun, then the stratosphere should be warming like everything else, but if it's greenhouse, then the stratosphere should be cooling as the surface warms. In fact, the stratosphere has been cooling for the last 50 years as the surface gets warmer. That's another smoking gun for the greenhouse effect.
Well, even if you're right about ice ages and the sun, there are other cycles in the climate that cause temperature changes, like El Niño.
You're right, El Niño can cause the Earth's temperature to change, but only for short periods. El Niño cycles back and forth over a period of 2 or 3 years. But the current warming trend has been going on for the last 30 or 40 years.
But there are other cycles in the ocean. I've heard of this thing called the PDO, that takes decades to cycle.
The Pacific Decadal Oscillation, or PDO, is well known to scientists. We have tracked the PDO backward for more than a century, and it's not tracking the long-term climate warming either.
But there may be other ocean cycles, even longer cycles, that we just don't know about yet.
That's always possible. But ocean cycles don't create heat, they just move heat around between the air and the sea. So if the current warming trend were part of some long-term ocean cycle, then the sea would have to be getting cooler as the atmosphere is getting warmer. In fact, the oceans are warming too, at about the same rate as the air. So it can be any kind of ocean cycle that's causing the current warmth.
Well, maybe the oceans are heating because of volcanoes at the bottom of the sea. They have found a lot of those volcanic vents down there.
If that were true, then the bottom of the ocean would be warming faster than the surface. In fact, the surface of the sea is warming faster than the depths. So the heat must be coming from above, not from below.
But you've ruled out everything now. Something must be causing the current warming.
Yes. The current warmth is being caused by the increasing carbon dioxide in the air. And that is caused because we humans are burning fossil fuels.